We are the IGPK Hospital.
Shalom. We are the ISUPK coming out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York.
That's
under
right.
Commanding General Yohana. We've been coming out on the streets since 1969 to teach blacks and Native Indians that they are the 12 tribes of Israel, the Lord's chosen people, and that the white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of.
That's right.
Today's class is about mixing bloodlines. Go ahead and give me Jeremiah chapter 12, verse 9.
God.
See, we like to go and take our enemies' women as our own. We like to lay with our enemies, known as the white man. We like to lay with Africans, Arabs, Asians, anything besides women of our nation, which are blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. We like our black women like to take their men as their husbands. They like to lay with that filthy beast, thinking that they've got something better than the black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man.
We're going to start 12 fully, or slow and stuff. Because it's 3 points.
All right, come on.
Right.
Come on. We start with Jeremiah chapter 12, verse 7.
Right. Jeremiah chapter 12, verse 7. I have forsaken my house. I have left my heritage. I have given the dearly beloved of my soul into the hand of their enemies.
We have forsaken our house.
I have forsaken my house.
We've forsaken our house. We've forsaken our house and our heritage. You know, the Most High put us into slavery because we wanted to follow the ways of our heathen neighbors. We wanted to forget about the laws, statutes, and commandments He told us to follow. You know, we want to worship what we please.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We want to take whatever mate we see fit, even though they are nothing compared to you. They're beasts. You know, when you're laying with a white woman or a white man or in any other nation outside of the nation of Israel, you're laying with a beast.
Right.
You know, that's what they're considered in our culture. Animals. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
I have forsaken my house. I have left my heritage. I have given the dearly beloved of my soul into the hand of her enemies.
You gave the beloved of your soul to your enemies. You know, you're.
Right. That's what the Lord did. The Lord gave us over into the hands of our enemies. And this topic today is about mixing of the bloodlines, right? Because now, notice it said the Lord has given us into the hand of our enemies. What does this also mean with us being given into the hand of our enemies? We're having sex with them. You see what I'm saying? We're having sex. Black, Hispanics, and Native Indians are having sex with every nation that is on the goddamn planet. You see what I'm saying? That's why we run around today thinking we something goddamn different. You see what I'm saying? The Gadites, Ephraimite dudes, Judite dudes are sleeping with, white women. Sleeping with the Asian woman, sleeping with and don't let me mention like what goes on in the military. What's been going on in the military, like Vietnam wars and stuff like that. You got Israelites from goddamn Vietnam that run around this motherfucker looking like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. They're running around looking like Mao Zedong or something. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They fathers and they take on. Now think about it. You got a black man and a Vietnamese woman. They have a child. You know what I'm saying? Then that child, get him a Vietnamese woman. And then the child after that, get him a Vietnamese woman too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. What's that child going to start to look like? I mean, you know what I'm saying? He's not going to look much like Judah, you know what I'm saying? But he's going to be hated, He's going to be hated and he's still going to, bear the infirmities and iniquities and all of that of his father's father. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
He's still going to bear all of that. He's still going to be because he is that seed. You see what I'm saying? Even though he looked like something else. Now, Okay, now let's keep okay, I'm gonna read verse 8. Now notice make emphasis that we was given to our enemies. Go ahead, let people know that. We was given to our enemies. Yeah, delivered us over to our enemies.
You want to read it?
We should just go ahead and talk about it. We're gonna take about it. Matter of fact, mention, mix people being a byproduct of that. We're going to things like that.
You know, the Most High gave us into the hands of our enemies by the way of slavery. You know, after slavery and during slavery, we thought it as a privilege to take white women or white men or really any nation as our spouse, because we've been under slavery to every nation in the whole world.
Right.
You know, we mix with Asians or whites, Africans, and then you get a mixed baby that's just spreading confusion. You know, you get with a black man gets with a white woman, and that continues throughout generation and generation. You get a brother that looks like me.
Right.
You know, you spread nothing but confusion. That's nothing that the Most High wanted. He wanted you to stick with blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians.
That's right.
Right.
But yeah, you just fulfill your own
Love of America.
Yeah,
pretty much.
kinda,
That's what it is. Love of America, love of every other nation, love of every other, everybody else's religion.
Right.
And this is the thing that we always had to struggle with, always. You see what I'm saying? And if I will, America has a advantage point over us that even the ancient Egyptians did not have. You see what I'm saying? Because at least up under the ancient Egyptians, we still were able to keep our own culture.
Damn right.
And hell, we still look like what we look like. We still all look like Jacob at that time. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
even if you had a brother that took on a damn heathen wife and everything, these people look similar to us still. So, that child was still, of the children of whatever tribe, was still numbered in the fold with that tribe. You see what I'm saying? But the thing about it is, when we, in this kingdom, we started to get with the heathens that look nothing like us. You know what I'm saying? And then that's what started the confusion. They used that as a weapon also. You see what I'm saying? Because they use a brother like this and figure he should be on their side because he looks somewhat like them. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
if I may, to go off of the confusion that the white man spreads, a few weeks ago, my grandfather on my mother's side tried debating with me, telling me that I would never really be accepted in the UPK because I'm white. And I asked him, well, what makes him think that I'm a white man? And he just went off of my skin tone. He didn't go by the seed of my father. He completely ignored that he was a native Indian. He was just going off my complexion, saying because I was lighter than him.
Right.
But it's the seed of your father that matters.
That's right.
Either way, we like to mix with other nations. We like to mix with people that are below us.
Right, just like, and this brother, what I'm saying, we done met, this brother, one of this brother's family members and everything. He has a sister, they have the same mother and same father. She looks like him, you know what I'm saying, but you can tell that she's mixed.
All right.
You
Right.
see what I'm saying? You can obviously tell they have same mother and father. They look dead alike. The only thing, she's darker, you know what I'm saying? And, it has, more of a froish type of hair.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? While he came out very light and redheaded. They have same mother and father.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? His father actually, you know what I'm saying, is just a light-skinned brother. You know what I'm saying? Look like a Judite, but he's actually a Gadite.
Right.
There a lot of times that's what happens when we end up getting with white women and everything. Then it becomes, a problem of confusion. Or we get with the Chinese woman. That's how this stuff happened. We didn't come out looking all kind of ways.
Right.
We didn't come out looking like that. We were all in the image. We was in the image of Christ. We was in the image. We looked like Jacob.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Joseph himself, because they like to try and say that too. They like to try and say, well, Joseph Joseph probably was light skinned because no, Joseph looked like an Egyptian. Joseph was tall and black as hell. You see what I'm saying? Joseph, you know what I'm saying? You know, tall, handsome black nigga. You know what I'm saying? It looked like looked like one of the ancient Egyptians. That's why he stood in the place of Pharaoh.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Because he was in the image of them. That's why when the sons of Jacob come to see, you know, when the sons of Jacob came into Egypt, they didn't recognize him. They didn't recognize him because he goddamn looked just like one of them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because of the pearl and everything that he had on. And the Egyptians were also the epitome of what a handsome man would be like in that day. Handsome, just like today would be the image of the white man because they're ruling.
Right.
Whoever's ruling is whose image, you know what I'm saying, that everybody looks at as a great thing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Joseph came in the image of, you know what I'm saying, the ancient Egyptians. You see what I'm saying? And they were all black as hell.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He came in the image of that. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Let's go on. Verse 9. No, verse 8. My heritage is unto me as a lion in the forest. It crieth out against me. Therefore I have hated it. What do we do? Because what do people do when we out there at camp? What do they do? We on that microphone. What did they do? The last weekend when we had camp. He's with his white woman crying out against us, roaring at us like a lion.
Right.
Remember that? Yes. Yeah, he's going all off, you know what I'm saying? Cussing us out. That's why it says here, it crieth out against me.
Right.
Therefore have I hated it. You see what I'm saying? What did the Pharisees do against Christ?
Cried out against them.
Right. And how did that lead us? That started to lead us to having sex with all the other nations and producing children with the other nations. Go ahead.
So like if I would, product of the goddamn Christian church.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That's one thing that they promote in that goddamn Christian church. You know what I'm saying? Love for the heathen nations.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They prefer to have interracial couples in that goddamn Christian church.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. You know why? Because they hate the image of Christ. That's why they prefer to do it.
Right.
They hate Christ's image. You know, have you ever heard of the same image as everything?
Right.
Yeah.
That has some truth to it.
Yeah, right.
You see what I'm saying? That has some truth to it. Think about it. Could you imagine if the God of the Chinese looked like an Arab?
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
By default, what would the Chinese people start to worship?
Theirs.
Right. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
If, as a matter of fact, if the Russian worship the Africans.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Which,
Go ahead.
so like if I would, which is a heavy point. Everybody else goddamn God looks like them.
Mm-hmm.
But they got us worshiping white Jesus. They, you know what I'm saying? Like the mixing of the bloodlines, prime example. What happens if a Chinese woman takes home a black man to China?
Right. Then she's ostracized.
Right.
She is ostracized.
Damn
You
right.
see what I'm saying? He's not going to become the image, and their children is not going to become the image of that people. They're
Damn
going to
right.
see that.
Then there won't be handed
You
no
know what I'm
family business.
Right,
No, none of that.
None of that stuff. And that's why you got all these dumbass black women that want to do this swirl movement.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like they talk about they're tired of black men. They're so fed up with black men and all of that, right? Knowing damn good and well that their asses always enjoyed and indulged in having sex with the oppressor here in America.
Right.
They're his property. They've been his property. You
Right.
see what I'm saying? They have had sex, but it only became an issue when the black man started sleeping
With white women. Kind of what kind,
There
son.
was never an interracial term before that.
Right.
Nobody called it interracial marriage. You
Right.
see what I'm saying? It didn't even have a goddamn name to it.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Until the white man made it legal for black men to marry white women, then that's when the term interracial marriage came up.
Right. And that's when it became a problem.
That's when it became a problem, exactly, while black women are sitting around acting like this is something we've been doing for 400 years.
Right.
And they're just so sick and tired of it.
Right.
They're so sick and tired that they want to go ahead and start, you know, and doing it because, you know, black man's been doing it. I know she's been the one doing it. She's just like her damn master is. She reverses every goddamn thing when she has been the one ghetto gagging for 400 goddamn years.
Right. And so, look, if I would, and to further prove that point, like, here's the thing. The black man wasn't running around trying to sleep with the white woman back then.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The white woman was actually raping the black man, just like the white man was.
When you look at, remember Malcolm X, look at the movie Malcolm X, where did they meet them goddamn white women at? In the movie Malcolm X, remember him and Shorty, Malcolm X and his buddy Shorty, where did they meet them white women at?
I'm not sure, sir.
They met them in a black club.
Damn right.
You couldn't go on their goddamn section of town.
Right.
So if they wanted to get them some BBC, where the fuck did they have to go?
Right, to the ghetto.
Yeah. They wanted to get them a black man, where did they have to go? They had to go to the ghetto to get it.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? They had to go to the black club, which you see that, you know what I'm saying? You see that nowadays, you go into a goddamn club. You see the white girl with the black girl hairstyle cut, you already know what the hell she in that damn place for.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Damn right.
All right, let's read on some more. My heritage is to me as a speckled bird. The birds round about are against her. Now the birds obviously. Now let me break something down. When it said my heritage is unto me as a speckled bird, right?
Right.
You have one bird that was able to be sacrificed unto the Lord. What bird was that?
The dove.
Right. You know what I'm saying? A bird or the dove that's supposed to be sacrificed to the Lord, what characteristic did it have as far as color-wise?
It was white.
Right, solid white, all the way through, right?
Okay.
That's why the Lord said, my heritage to me is a speckled bird, because what are we speckled with?
With all the other heathen nations.
Right. You see what I'm saying? So where we're not presentable to be offered up as a sacrifice unto the Lord.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
And when it also talks about it being a speckled bird, the different colors and everything, we didn't start out that way.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We didn't start out with the different colors. We started out, you know what I'm saying, looking just like Jacob, Isaac, Abraham, Terah, going all the way back to Noah. You know what I'm saying? And beyond.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? We were all in the image of, you know what I'm saying, in the image of Adam. Because what did it say? It said Adam bore a son in his image and in his likeness. And Adam was a black man, right?
Damn
and
right.
we are all also the descendants of Seth.
Damn right.
You see what I'm saying?
Damn
So when it says, my heritage is unto me as a speckled bird, the birds around about her are against her. We're the speckled one. They're the solid color birds because they all worship their own goddamn gods. You know what I'm saying? It's the East Indian. You know, the East Indian is one color. You see, I don't mean physically, they come in different shades of brown, but I mean, as far as what they worship, they're solid.
Right.
They're Hindus.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? They're Hindu, Christian, Hindus, and all of that stuff. They're one solid color. They're with the world. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Chinese and Buddhists. They're one color. You see what I'm saying? Even though they'll take on another religion, just like, say, for instance, the Ethiopians. The Ethiopians are Christian, and they're also Krishna. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Krishna.
Yeah, Christian, and a lot of them are Muslim too, but at the same time, when it all boils down to it, because they're only joining these other religions and Judaism, they're only going into these other religions because it's expedient for them to do.
That's what I was about to say, sir. There's some type of financial benefit to it.
Yes, the financial benefits.
It's not religion at all.
Right, and it helps them against their enemies, which are us.
Right.
We're their enemy. You see what I'm saying? We're the enemy of the world.
Right. And Salaki, if I would, sir, and here's the thing, they following a religious aspect of it, but they're still not mixing their bloodlines.
No. Ethiopians are not mixing up their goddamn bloodline.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Hell, now what you actually have is, I ain't never seen no Ethiopians running around with no goddamn white women.
Hell no, sir.
You know what I'm saying?
Come.
And I know Chinese woman or no goddamn Arab woman, you don't see that. But what you will see, you'll see the white man, because the white man, you know what I'm saying, it talks about, you know, he mingled his seed among men.
Right.
As a matter of fact, I want to pull that scripture. Can you look that up for me, boy?
Okay.
This is what that's why the white man sleeps with everything and he produces children with everything. Those are his bastard children. He even does this among himself. That's why you got an Edomite, his name. When you look at Game of Thrones, you know, Jon Snow was called Jon Snow because he was the bastard of a Stark, you know what I'm saying? And he lived in the land of the North, so he took on the name Snow. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even though he's actually a Stark, he's of the seed of the Stark, but they use what they call their bastard children as weapons. In reality, they're not bastards, and that's not really the definition of a bastard for real. But they use them as, you know what I'm saying, their weapons, you know what I'm saying? Because they have to prove themselves as a son. You see what I'm saying? Even though they're the physical seed, but now they're looked at as the bastard because the white man made the law of one wife. You see what I'm saying? The white man made the law of one wife, so if you got one wife and you produce children with her, but then you got 3 other women that you're getting with, the wife that you married to, according to the laws of Rome, will actually be looked at as your wife. That's why they want you to get the marriage papers. Our custom is not so. Our custom has never been like that. You see what I'm saying? That's not our custom. You know, our custom is you got 10 wives, those 10 wives are your wives. You might have ones that you love more than the others. You know what I'm saying?
So what's the precept? He mingled his seed, what?
With the seed of men.
With the seed of men.
Right. He mingled himself with the seed of men. We'll put that, mingled himself. That's a powerful scripture right there concerning this.
White man is the devil, the Bible speaks of.
Deal was a deal. You got that word?
I think it's going to be Daniel's 2:43.
Yes, because what we're gonna actually do, Daniel's 2:43, we're gonna couple that with Hosea.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Daniel
2:43. That's what I think it is, sir.
Right. I think that is it. I ain't run across the scripture in a couple of years, actually.
You gonna break that down?
Yeah, okay. Please, you can elaborate. Some spirit movie, you know, so you can elaborate.
You want me to read it, sir?
Yeah, go ahead, Warrior. Go ahead.
Second Daniel's 2:43. And whereso they saws iron mixed with miry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men, but they shall not cleave one to another, even as iron is not mixed with clay.
Now, when it said they shall mingle themselves, what does the white man want to do with us?
He wants to mingle himself, sir.
Yes, mingle himself with us, his genes in us. Even if the seed's Israel, he
Right.
want the appearance to be
Right.
himself, right?
Okay.
Or anything else, any of his competitors.
Salaki, if I would, especially like when a black person has some type of wealth or something to offer, even if they don't. But prime example, look at the sports world.
Right.
Do you think it's a coincidence that these basketball players, football players, rappers, and singers all have some type of heathen attached to them?
Right.
The majority of them usually white, like Serena.
Right.
All the Judites she'd have been through, she couldn't find a nigga, Salaki my language.
Right.
She couldn't find a brother, no, an Israelite of any of the tribes. It had to be a white devil. Michael Jordan got divorced from a sister and did what? Married a white woman.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like all of them, especially when it comes to the money, they mingle themselves amongst our tribe because like none of them inheritance is going to them kids now.
Right. And so when you got
The
all
Jordan
these
logo's not going to Jordan Jr.
Right. Yeah, when you got all of these swirlers,
Right.
You know what I'm saying? What are they really trying to do? You know what I'm saying?
Attach themselves to the heathen.
Yeah, so the you know, and they don't even look at the point. They sit there and act like it's such a great thing that Serena Williams is with this white man.
Right.
Like, it's such a great thing, and they know in the back of their minds when them two, because that white man's gonna leave her.
Damn right.
We know this.
Damn right.
And she gonna end up in the same goddamn situation that Holly Berry's in. The only thing is she's gonna be too old to play tennis now.
Right.
Ooh, shit.
Right. Kiss that money goodbye.
Right. So she's gonna start to financially bleed out. Because she's not gonna be winning too many more Wimbledons or whatever they call it, that garbage. She's not gonna be winning too many more of those because some ones is younger and stronger, faster, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Is gonna start to dominate and start to beat her, she'll become irrelevant.
Right. So like if I would 2 points, like she's already a target.
Right.
Like they purposely letting these juiced up devils play against her.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? These devils is on steroids. Them white bitches are stronger than all three of us put together. They also mean got them horse steroids.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Her image is not what they desire in commentating, so she
Right.
might not have a future in that either.
Right. And not only
Because
that,
she's dark as hell,
right.
muscular, and you know what I'm saying,
Right.
dark skin with the goddamn jump rope in her goddamn head. I don't think they want her commentating
Right.
or anything like that. Her image is not that kind of way.
Right. And the second that she can no longer swing that goddamn tennis racket, she can kiss everything goodbye, including her endorsements.
Right. Including her little daughter.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Including her little devil, she can kiss her goodbye.
That's just a matter of time, sir. That's why they need to
this is
include
like Holly
that.
Berry. What happened with her?
Just a matter of time.
Right.
Maybe
What happened
got
with Holly
taken.
Berry?
Maybe got taken. Why she?
Right.
She paying the devil.
You're right. And you know what? She ain't getting no movie deals.
Hell no.
She's old. She's washed up now.
Come
You know what I'm saying? Hell, look at goddamn Diana Ross.
Right.
People like that. Diana Ross, even Anita Baker.
Right. So lucky,
You know
if
what
I
I'm
would, if I could speak on that one more time, sir, that's prime example of the mixing of the bloodlines. You get what I'm saying? They look at them like they strong black women for black cause, but who do they have kids with?
Right. Well, who are they sleeping with at night? What do they have down their throat at night after they leave off from saying power to the black people? What are they turning in and shoving down their throat?
Go lay right with the devil, sir.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
She's swallowing him up. He's having nasty slave sex with her.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But we think that she's somehow standing for us, right?
Right.
She's somehow standing on our stead, and she's somehow with us. You know, somehow she like is a and this is all black. This is the majority of black women that say this garbage.
Right.
Because deep down inside, there'd be a lot of their damn fantasy too.
Right.
You know, I'm just saying, I don't give a damn. I get you real. You know what I'm saying?
Damn right.
That's what their deep, that's suppressed desire is. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And it only pisses them off. Let me tell you the reason. They don't hate interracial marriage between those black men and those goddamn white women because they want to preserve the black race. That's bullshit. They don't want to preserve the black race. If they did, why the hell they slapping blue contacts in their goddamn eyes?
Right. Wearing blonde hair, sir.
Right. That's not something you do when you want to preserve your race. That's something you do when you want to stomp your race out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's what you do then. When you hate the image of your own goddamn people, that's what you do. You know what I'm saying? You dye your hair piss yellow blonde. You slap them goddamn contacts in your goddamn eyes and get ready to give your ass pink eye. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
When you hate your goddamn home. As a matter of fact, our people are not ready for the goddamn wealth transfer.
Hell no, sir.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know what would happen if there was a wealth transfer going on right now?
They would get the money right back to the devil, sir.
Not only that, there wouldn't be a single black woman. There wouldn't be a black woman running around anywhere within a fucking 30-mile radius.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Come on.
And the only reason why some will remain black because they wasn't recipients of that financial shift.
Right.
That's the only reason why they stay black.
Right.
The other ones, they will turn into white people.
Right.
Their skin will be bleached, their hair will be blonde, they blue contacts in their goddamn eyes, and it'll be especially with the women.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't be a black woman running around no goddamn where.
Right. So lucky.
You go ahead.
If I would, like they got that shit floating around now where you can buy that shit, put it on your skin, and it makes you whiter.
Right.
Like, who's using that? The women.
Right.
The women.
Niggas ain't doing that, not unless you like some celebrity like them, Sammy Sosa or something.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Pulling a Michael Jackson.
Right.
Keep doing.
All right, let's go. Let's not get too far off topic. Let's okay. Go ahead with that.
Absolutely.
Mingle himself with the seed of men.
Salaki. They shall mingle themselves with the seed of man, but they shall not cleave one to another, even as iron is not mixed with clay.
Now notice it's also said that if we shall mingle themselves with the seed of men, you have to understand prophetic language. Because when it's talking about men, when it says man, that can mean one nation. That means one nation or one individual human being.
Israelites.
Right? Yes, that's what it means when it says man, but you know what I'm saying? But also too, it means nation, but when it says with the seed of men, mean multiple nations. That's one of the reasons why certain nations like the Arabs do not look like what they looked like 300 years ago either.
Okay.
Arabs were black 300 years ago. You know what I'm saying? They look like unto us. You know. But since the white man mingled himself, because what they do? They marry the brother, but you see, they're forging alliances when they do.
Right.
And that's one thing that Esau's always been good at. You see what I'm saying? That's the reason why when Esau was in Mount Seir, right, he was able to come with 400 dudes of Mount Seir. Why was he able to do that and do that so successfully and get them to damn near be ready to die for him? Can anybody tell me?
No answer.
Because for one thing, they share his genes. Who did Esau marry into? Who did he give his daughters to? He gave his daughters to the Horites.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So with them white women, right, being given to some Africans, what's that going to start to make the Africans' offspring look like?
It's going to start to whiten them up, sir.
And start to make them look closer to
Esau.
Right. Now you see how he was able to get 400 men from Mount Seir to come out to Jacob.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
That's like you said.
Go ahead.
Does that go into the bloodline of the Dukes, or is that something?
Yeah, they both were Dukes. Yes, that's the blood of the Dukes. Exactly right. Exactly right. You had Dukes of Seir because actually the white man got his whole culture from
the Bible.
No, he got it from the Canaanites.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? You know, he got it from the Canaanites. The Bible wasn't mass produced like that.
No, I'm just thinking about like the power structure.
You know, we just can't say the Bible. We got to look at his. You know, who was he with?
Okay.
He didn't get it from the Bible because the Bible don't say that it's lawful for two men to be together.
Damn right. Okay.
You see what I'm saying? He got it from the Horites. That's why you see him on the Greek statues with no shirts on and naked and shit.
Okay.
Horites were Canaanites. That's not something that they got from the Bible.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? Esau forsook the ways of Isaac and Jacob. He didn't want nothing to do with that.
When you say Canaanites, you mean
Canaanites.
The Canaanites, that's the Hamites.
Yes.
Yeah,
The children of Canaan. Right.
Okay.
That's who he got because that's what the Horites were. Seir was, he was the son of Hori, who was the son of Hivi, who was the son of Canaan. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
Seir was the beginning of the strength of Hori. He was the firstborn. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And he was inherited. That's why they were so poor. They had dukes. You know what I'm saying? Of the Hivites, they were the top family. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
Just like Esau was the top family of his own. The two merged together in Mount Seir. You see what I'm saying?
Okay. And that's where, like you said, how he was able to call 400.
Yeah, because he gave his daughters to their sons, and their sons gave their daughters to Esau. They merged together, blended together, and became damn near like one people. You know what I'm saying?
To try to absorb power.
Right, they became a dual power structure.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? Eventually Esau do what he do. Once you make an elected allegiance with him, he destroys you.
Right.
The Hivites had that same type of spirit. You see what I'm saying? Because Shechem was a Hivite. Remember Shechem, the great Dinah?
Well, sir.
Dinah, the daughter of Jacob. He raped her. You know what I'm talking about? But then when he said, let us join and become one people,
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? You know, and let me take her to wife. Let us join together, become one people. Our cattle and our substance will be yours, and what you got to be ours.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? What was in his mind to do?
Destroy.
To usurp.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Usurp.
And take it over.
Okay.
Now he'll have both heritages. He'd be an Israelite and a Hivite.
Okay.
Now you see why the white man. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now you see why the white man is, you know, that. He's the Israelite. He's the, you know what I'm saying? He's everything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
They both had the same spirit. The only thing was the time of the Hivites was over. And Esau's time was coming. That's why they destroyed the Horites in Mount Seir, as you see when you read Deuteronomy, the 2nd chapter.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? They destroyed them out of Mount Seir. And they took their place, and they became, that's why when you go into Ezekiel chapter 35, it calls them the children of Seir, because what did they do once they destroyed the Horites? They destroyed all the Horites and all of that. They took on all the gods of Seir for themselves, and they became like unto those gods themselves. That's why they got the naked statues. You look up on the Catholic Church, they got naked people. They got Zeus, who's supposed to be God, and he naked too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and then you got another motherfucker reaching out Salaki.
Right.
On some homosexual shit.
Right, exactly.
Got the pedophilia with the baby angels.
Right, Cupids running around with little wings, little fat butt white boys. You know what I'm saying? All of that stuff. You know
Booty
what I'm
naked
saying?
statues.
Right, exactly.
Little bitty ass leaf over the rock.
Right. The statues, the goddesses with all these 1,000 titties. You know what I'm saying? They got all of that stuff. That's Canaanite culture. That's Horite. That's why Ezekiel, the 35th chapter, refers to them as the children of Seir. Not saying that they're the physical seed of Seir.
Right.
But they're like unto them.
Right. They took on the culture.
Child of something, or son of something, or daughter of something. Means you're like unto.
Right.
That.
It means you took on the culture.
Right. That's why Christ said, "You are of your father, the devil."
Because you're doing what the devil does. You're doing what the white man does.
That's just like it, right? That's the
You're
Christian
doing what
church.
them goddamn Romans is doing.
Right, exactly. Now let's go further. Let's go further in the scriptures. We got no time getting away from it, so let me get a time check.
Time check is going to be 5:35, sir.
Okay, we still got time. Now let's go to Isaiah. Hosea 7 and 8. A lot of people's tripped out on, you know what I'm saying, well, why, you know, the native Indians, they don't look like us. That's one of the biggest things. They say, well, they don't look like us. Then you ask about you ask them about okay, wasn't slaves taken to Cuba? Wasn't slaves taken to Puerto Rico? Then they say, well, okay, the Afro ones are us. You know what I'm saying? And they try to switch it up, you know what I'm saying? But they didn't say that shit at first. You know what I'm saying? But they can't deny them because they know in history, secular history, that they was loaded on the goddamn slave ships and brought to Cuba, Puerto Rico, etc.
Right.
Go ahead.
Like there was an old saying back in the day when I was coming up. The only difference between us and them is who the hell got dropped off first.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? You got dropped off in Cuba, you became a Cuban. You know
right.
If you got dropped in Puerto Rico, you came in, you Puerto Rican.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's what the Lord did that specifically so that we would start to understand. That's when the knowledge that was brought down to the elders of the ISUBK, that's how they was able to discern who the tribes were.
That's right.
The Lord put the tribes, just like he had us in Israel. He had us in separate lands in Israel, didn't he?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Wasn't there a land of Benjamin?
Right.
Wasn't there a land of Simeon?
Right.
Wasn't there a land of Judah?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? There was a land of all the tribes.
Right.
While we are together into the blessing, so under the curse there will be a land of all the tribes too.
Damn right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
It would be the same thing. The Levites, for instance, the Haitians, weren't they operating in the priesthood? Right? Into the blessing, they was operating in the priesthood, and they ate of the holy things of the Lord, right?
Right.
All right. Now, today, they're not operating in the blessing of the priesthood, but actually in the curse behind not keeping it, right?
Okay.
But are they still keeping the priesthood in their own way?
Right.
Can anybody tell me? Yeah, can anybody elaborate on that? Go ahead.
Salaki, sir. I know you're gonna correct me if I'm wrong, but I want to say like the voodoo shit that
Yes, you're right. You're right.
Like I want to give an example. Like I don't know if people remember that movie Predator 2 with Danny Glover. Remember they ran into the penthouse, was about to kill the white devil, and they was performing that voodoo ritual. Like that would be the Levites, right, sir? That was the Predator 2 with Danny Glover.
I think that was Benjamin.
That was Benjamin?
I think so.
Okay. I thought those were Levites. Salaki, sir.
Now you want to see Levi? I mean, that's a movie, though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
you
but I
want
was
to see
just
what the Levites do. Look up a goddamn book. Even world leaders deal with them.
right.
But
Because they're afraid of
shit
it.
like that. No, not because they're afraid of them, because they need their insight and divination and stuff like that. That's what they need. You know what I'm saying? They need to operate the gift they had in the priesthood.
Yeah,
now
they
they
need
need
them
it
now.
to use it for their benefit.
That's what I meant by that, sir.
You see what I'm
Salaki.
saying? Right.
Like they want that spiritual power.
Right. They want, knowledge, you know what I'm saying, concerning it, how, one of the ways they do it today, I mean, they'll sit there and, break out the little bones and all that and use all the types of drugs of the puffer fish and zombify people and all that. The Levites also understood medicines, you know what I'm saying? The Levites had a, understanding because they were the priests, and priests always have to do with healing. You see what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Salaki, Officer Markov said the movie Serpent in the Rainbow.
Yes, that's it right there. Yeah, that's it right there. Serpent and the Rainbow. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That movie, The Serpent and the Rainbow, what do they be doing? They also be sacrificing the chickens and all of that, and the goats and all that, right? But at the same time, just like the Levites ate of the fat and the holy things of the Lord, the Levites ate good.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They ate good. Eli was a fat priest. He was fat, you know what I'm saying? But the opposite of that is that now the priest would starve.
Right.
And the curse would starve. Now you see why Haiti doesn't grow much food. You see what I'm saying? Why you around Haiti surrounded by water, but at the same time ain't nobody fishing nothing.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? People's eating dirt cookies.
Right. The water ain't even fucking drinkable.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So think about that. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, if that don't tell who the Levites are, because you got to look at the negative to every damn thing. You know what I'm saying? You can look at the priesthood and you look at the negative effect of the priesthood, of falling from the priesthood. It's a direct opposite going there. You see what I'm saying? Anybody understand?
Come.
It's a direct
You
opposite.
look at the blessing and it's
You
flipped
look
on
at
his
the
head.
curse, right?
Come.
The blessing is that Israel would be fat. That Israel would have everything that we want in the blessing. The curse,
Then we ain't got shit.
right? So think about it now with all of us being cursed, right?
Right.
Under the curse,
All the nations.
the priesthood come from the heavenly realm,
Right.
which is high. Actually, the priesthood is actually high above the kingship. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
Because the kingship and the rulership on the earth, the priesthood is, it comes from heaven. You see what I'm saying? That's why Christ came as king and high priest. He wasn't just one of them.
Okay.
Dominion in heaven, dominion on the earth. You see what I'm saying? Everybody get that?
Come, sir.
Okay,
Hosea 7 and 8, I believe you
yeah,
want to
go
say.
ahead, yeah.
Come. Hosea 7 and 8. Ephraim he hath mixed himself among the people.
Can anybody tell me what that actually means? Go ahead.
No.
Go ahead, Mama. Ephraim has mixed himself among the people. Go ahead.
Is there more mixing amongst the tribes? Or that's a mix amongst
No.
Or mixing
He
amongst
mixed
the
himself among the devils.
The
Yeah, the
heathens.
devil, the heathens, and all of them. Think about it. Look at the 10 tribes. How the 10 tribes look today. They don't identify with being black.
Right.
Yeah.
At one time, this wasn't the case.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, we be thinking that this stuff took place over thousands of years. Hell, it didn't take that long. Look at Castro's documentary.
Right.
Castro's documentary, which is back in the 50s, right?
Right.
Look at the people that sat down on the porches. Look, they're darker than me and Isaiah.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And have hair like me and Isaiah. What tribe y'all think they are?
Is that he from, sir?
No, that's actually Manasseh.
That's Manasseh?
Right.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? That's one of the reasons also why lighter skinned Cubans and the other 10 tribes, they hate the blacks, the Afro-Cubans and Afro, you know what I'm saying? Because what do they remind them of? They remind them of, no, not only that, you have to be more, they remind them of what they really are. Before they mix their seed being crossed with the Spanish, their bloodline being crossed with the Spanish. Go ahead.
So like I was gonna say, for like people who actually do traveling, like man, like I be hearing the stories, they say that when they go to places like that there's niggas everywhere.
Yeah.
Like you might like the tribe of Manasseh, you might think they all light skinned and shit. But them niggas is really niggas. Like, of course, it's the same thing that they doing over here in America. I didn't want to put white people out on TV.
Right.
All the signs you see, they projecting that lighter skin.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But the truth be told, the majority of them look like us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And they don't like that because the ones that don't look so much like us, they want to be white.
Right.
And they want to be Spaniard and white so bad that when they see those black ones, that's an eyesore because that reminds them of what they really are. How they originally were before. That's why when you have when they went down to Mexico, you know, they was the little documentary thing went down in Mexico, talk about the Afro-Mexicans, right?
Right.
They have their little rituals and their dances. Then you have the ones that look like regular Mexicans that we see, right?
Right.
They were painting themselves black.
I remember, sir.
Right?
I done seen that.
And while they were doing that, and they were dressing themselves in their royal Aztec apparel. While they were doing that, if they were making fun of us, why the hell would they dress down in their own Aztec apparel,
right.
Kingly Aztec apparel, you know what I'm saying, when doing so?
So lucky, and if I would, I remember when Devils used to try to do documentaries on that, that's exactly the shit they were saying. Like they trying to make fun of us. You
right.
know what I'm saying? But really they was paying homage and tribute to the ancestors of where they come from.
Right, right. They were painting themselves like that, going back to what they actually were at first.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
That's why they dressed down in their ancient Aztec apparel when doing so and did their dances and all of that. Right. You know what I'm saying? That's why they did all of that. I saw a car commercial a while back. They took this car commercial off real fast. I only seen it once. But it was an Aztec car commercial, right? And the Aztec people, they only showed it for a clip. They were black as this right here. You know what I'm saying? They were black as hell. And they took this commercial off immediately.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what they looked like before the Spaniard mix.
Right.
Same thing with Gad. Gad was the same way. And just like I was telling Monterey a couple of weeks ago, I'm like, hell, all the Gadites that I know, majority of the Gadites, I ain't gonna say all of them. Right. But that from my generation and younger, right, look like white people. You know what I'm saying? Gadites, you know what I'm saying? I ain't never seen it. As a matter of fact, you know, where I'm from, I never seen a Gadite man and a Gadite woman together. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. You see a Gadite woman, she'll be a white dude or she'll be with a black dude. Right. You know what I'm saying? You see a Gadite man, he's with, you know what I'm saying? He's with a white woman. You know what I'm saying? Right. You know, and their children come out. I had Gadite friends, you know, coming up and everything that people thought they were white people. Those were Gadites. Right. I knew their parents. You know what I'm saying? Right. You know.
Which Salaki, if I would, which makes a heavy point about what Monterey was saying earlier. Like how he was saying his grandfather was like, UPK never accept you. You get what I'm saying? Here's the thing. Show your granddaddy this video.
I know your dad and granddad have seen many videos.
You know what I mean?
Have you seen your videos?
Not that I'm aware of. I'm sure he's looked into it though.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like this is what the brotherhood is all about. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Because we understand, like the scripture clearly says, and this is just talking about the tribe of Ephraim, but it says, Ephraim, he hath mixed himself among the people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? This were scriptures about Ephraim, but that's what it was with all the tribes. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Not only do
Yeah,
they own
Ephraim,
them.
Ephraim, I don't mean to cut you off, but Ephraim is was the head of all the other tribes. That's why it says specifically Ephraim, but it's actually talking about the whole northern kingdom. You know what I'm saying? They just like
So that
us.
means Monterey too.
Right. That's just like us. You know, when they say Judah, who fall up under the Judah umbrella?
Everybody, sir.
Not everybody. Because predominantly, you know what I'm saying, us so-called African Americans, Caribbeans, Haitians, we all fall under Judah.
Okay.
And not only that, though, to be honest with you, we're going to keep it all the way real. You know what I'm saying? The ones that are obviously black, you know what I'm saying? You know, even of the other tribes, which that's another scripture that we're going to go into, also fall up under the umbrella of Judah, you know, also in a lot of cases.
So like
I
I was
thinking,
so like I was saying, I was thinking about it wrong. I was thinking of like in terms of the rulership class would be Judah. So like
yeah, but Ephraim also had its own rulership class, and the kingdom was split in two.
kind.
You know what I'm saying?
I got you. So when the kingdom was split in two, would it be 6 and 6 then, sir?
No,
No.
it was actually 3, and it was actually 2 and 10. To be honest, it was 2 and 10.
Okay.
You know,
So everybody else fell up down under the umbrella of the Ephraim.
right? We was Judah and Benjamin.
And it was
Levi
Ephraim.
was the priest tribe.
Kind.
You know what I'm saying? So even though they were kicked out, which that's something we're going to go into also. That's going to be our next scripture after the the cake not turn thing. But you know, Judah, it was Judah and Benjamin predominantly because we both had Levites in our stuff. You know, the Levites that forfeited all of their goods up in the northern kingdom, they had to come down to the southern kingdom, and they was, you know, you had the ones that was in the cities of Benjamin and the ones in the cities of Judah. You know what I'm saying? So we were looked at as pretty much Judah, Benjamin. We looked at as 2 tribes. You know what I'm saying? While the other ones had the 10. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Which were also when split the tribe of Judah was split into 2, Ephraim and Manasseh. You know what I'm saying? Which made 10 for the north and 2 for the southern kingdom.
Kind.
The Levi was blended in with us both. You know what I'm saying? They were, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so they was
See, there was no land of Levi.
kind.
You know what I'm saying? Levi wasn't given an inheritance among us. Levi had the priesthood.
Kind.
You see what I'm saying?
Right. Kind. Let me finish up this scripture.
Yeah, go ahead, Warren.
Hosea 7 and 8. Ephraim, he hath mixed himself among the people. Ephraim
Go ahead,
is a cake not turned.
Go ahead, Warren.
Let me read it again, sir.
No, maybe.
Go.
Ephraim, Hosea 7 and 8. Ephraim, he hath mixed himself amongst the people.
Ephraim mixed himself amongst the people. He went out into the other nations. You know, he mixed himself with heathens, the white man, Africans, Asian, Arabs, anything but his own nation of people. Go ahead.
Right. Ephraim is a cake not turned.
A cake not turned. You know, if you leave let's use a pancake, for example. If you leave it in the skillet, you just let it sit there for a minute, the bottom of it is going to be extremely black, like the cover of this table right here. You know,
Right.
if you burn anything, it's black. The middle is going to be a light brown, and the top is going to be white, like myself. You know, it's like the 12 tribes. You know, we mix ourselves with heathens, with the white man, and we lighten up. Originally, we're extremely dark. We're like Christ. You know, he's skin like burnt brass, and then you end up you end up lighter than me, basically.
Right.
Right. You know, that's how it happened. But see, the thing about it, the seed, you can't destroy the seed, and the white man know that. You can't destroy the seed. So what does he do? He tries to take the image and make it like unto himself, so that he can get you in the mind to think that you have more in common with him than what you do with your own goddamn brother.
Right.
That's why there's so much division among us. This level of division wasn't in ancient Egypt.
Damn right.
This same kind of division, that's why this is actually the daughter, this is Sodom and Egypt and, you know what I'm saying, and Babylon all rolled into one.
Damn right
You know
it
what I'm
is, sir.
saying? You know, ancient Egypt, we was at least able to have our own culture.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
We look like our forefathers. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
During the time of Joseph, hell, at least we was even separate from them. During the time of Joseph, we didn't start to blend in. That's why Joseph that's why Joseph wanted us to be in Goshen. He didn't want us mingling with the Egyptians like that, because Joseph wanted us to be, high above them. You see what I'm saying? That's why he gave us the fat land of Goshen. He told Pharaoh, in his wisdom, he told Pharaoh that people were keepers of cattle.
Right.
And the ancient Egyptians despised that occupation. Go ahead.
So like that's what I was gonna say. And to show you the spirit of brotherhood, that's the one that his brother sold him, right? That's the one that his brother sold him. And when he got sold, when he was coming there, they didn't even recognize him. And in the spirit of brotherhood, what did he do? Forgive his brothers,
Right.
and then tell them, like you said, in his wisdom, tell them that we go holders. You know what I'm
Now,
saying?
you know what? Joseph was actually an image of Christ. You see what I'm saying? If he was the image of Christ, then how the hell why would he be looking like another race, right?
Right.
Joseph was the image. If they wanted to see how Christ was going to be, you know what I'm saying? When Christ going to be, when he like glorified and everything,
Right.
Joseph was what they would actually look at. You see what I'm saying? Joseph, as far as righteousness, he had actually exceeded even his father.
The first nigga ever sold, wasn't he?
Actually, yeah. Well, I mean, hell, Jacob
he was so
down in slavery himself
come.
under Laban. And that's what started the beef between us and the Assyrians, and started to break that brotherhood right there.
Come.
You see what I'm saying? That's what ended up happening, because the Assyrians were actually the descendants of Nahor, Abraham's brother. You know what I'm saying? And that's why we got our wives from there. That's why Rebecca came from there. That's why Rachel, Leah, they were of that stock, and Bilhah and Zilpah, all four came of the stock of the Syrians. You know what I'm saying? Of Nahor's children, because there was a brotherhood between us then. You know what I'm saying?
So like you said, would that be considered heathen blood?
At the time, no.
Come.
You see what I'm saying? At that time, no, we hadn't grown into nations yet. You see what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
because she had the nations.
Right,
The
right.
nations will be born in our womb.
No, you thinking about Rebecca.
Come.
You know what I'm
Like
saying?
the other Rebecca.
No, yeah, Rebecca was actually, she was the daughter of Bethuel, the Syrian.
Come.
You see what I'm saying? At that time, the families were small. You see what I'm saying? Just like the union between Abraham and Lot. But what did the Lord do? He broke that up. And Lot began to follow the Chinese and Japanese.
Come.
You see what I'm saying? Lot himself was a righteous man. You see what I'm saying? Lot was nearer the kin to Abraham. But the Lord divided them and split them up. You see what I'm saying? Just like the Lord did with Jacob and Esau, split them, gave them different ways. Just like the Lord did with Isaac and Ishmael, split them up, gave them different ways. You see what I'm saying? And when one nation starts to offend another nation like that, you're not supposed to. So a nation come and offend your nation, you're not supposed to take their women to wife. You see what I'm saying? You're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to give your daughters to their sons or any of that stuff. You see what I'm saying? They sat there and wronged you, and then that blood wasn't cleansed either. No, hell no. And the Lord had already told us not to get with any other nation. At the time, though, we hadn't grown into nation. We were just families at the time. You know what I'm saying? Abraham and Lot still jig with each other. Abraham and Nahor still jig with each other. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, the things were small at that time, but it's growing into nations and stuff like that. Now, y'all too big to, you know what I'm saying? Y'all don't need to be dealing with one. Now y'all competitors.
Come.
You see what I'm saying?
Come, sir.
Y'all competitors, y'all enemies on the earth now. You see what I'm saying? Just like that's why the Genesis is the beginning of all nations. You see what I'm saying?
Come.
Hell, the same goddamn difference between Ammon and Moab. Hell, they were together at one point. They were brothers at one point. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But then as they started, Ammon and the Knights and the Moabites started to populate and everything, they became two totally separate goddamn people, and they did war with one another and fight. The Lord charged us with his laws and with us with brotherhood. That brotherhood was only charged with the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. So regardless of how big we get, we still gonna be brothers.
Come.
You know what I'm saying? Benjamin and Judah will always be brothers. I don't give a damn what wars we might have had or might future have with one another. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Judah and Ephraim, Ephraim and Manasseh, you know what I'm saying? So on and so forth. They're still brothers.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
The Lord charged us with brotherhood with each other. He didn't charge us with brotherhood with the Syrians, the Edomites, the Canaanites, any of them, or any of that stuff, or any of the stock that come from Abraham, or none of that. You know what I'm saying? That's why you always got to watch out for these goddamn groups that teach that, well, we all Hebrews.
Right.
That's the reason why they're saying that.
Right.
They're not saying that from the technical perspective. Go ahead.
That's lucky. I was gonna say I was always taught, you know what I'm saying, in the UPK, it don't matter. Like technically the white man's a goddamn Hebrew. But
yeah, that doesn't right.
But the white man don't have his goddamn covenant.
Right. You know, I mean, yeah, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna go there, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And people say, well, see, Hebrews come from Eber. They say that. But then when you go into Numbers the 26th chapter, with the prophecy that Balaam gave, he said, and Eber shall be destroyed.
Right.
He ain't said the Hebrews should be destroyed. He said Eber. He wasn't talking about us.
Yeah, I'm right. The whole book is about our salvation.
He said they're gonna be destroyed and perish.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that shows that they're not in the covenant. But then you have these fake groups that want to actually put them inside the covenant by saying that we're all Hebrews and all of that.
They want to put everybody
You know
in as long as they can take us out.
Right. You know what I'm saying? That's what they really want. They believe in, you know what I'm saying? They're really just Christians for real. They believe if they help the white man and all the other nations get rid of us, then they're going to be actually made in outer space.
Right.
That's what they believe. They actually believe that. They believe that, like black women, one of the reasons why they cover black men so goddamn hard, because they believe that they're going to be Miss Butterworth on his spaceship somewhere in outer space.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Or his bed winch, you know what I'm saying, in outer space.
Wow.
That's what they believe. They help them to destroy us on the earth and to crush us on the earth. They believe that they're going to sail so high and they're going to be in outer space and they're going to sail the cosmos with their slave masters. That's why when you watch that movie, Monsters Ball, with Halle Berry, how did it end?
Where her going right back to the devil after he had murdered her son.
Not only that, what I'm talking about, literally, how did it end?
Them looking up at the stars.
There you go. That's it. You see that? Say that again. Say it again loud on the microphone.
Them looking up at the stars.
Right. Who was it looking up at the star?
Halle Berry and her slave master. Well,
Right. Halle
white
Berry
man.
and Billy Bob Thornton. Let's keep it.
Yeah.
Billy Bob Thornton and Halle Berry was sitting on the back porch, and what did he do? He was eating something. He gave some to her.
There you
know
go.
What I'm saying? Fed it to her.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then he's like, what do you say? No, he didn't say anything. Both of them looked together and looked up at the stars. See what I'm saying?
Right.
So what is that saying right there? What's her hope?
That she going into heaven with that white devil.
Huh?
That she ascended to heaven with that white devil.
Yeah, that's where her hope is at. That's why they want to help to destroy black men.
Right.
I'm just keeping it all the way real.
I mean, shit, that makes sense to me. Every goddamn movie they put out like that is about destroying black man.
Right.
From the son to the husband in a movie.
You got to think about the reasons why they want to do it, though. We want to break down the reasons of why they want to destroy that black man. Because their hope is that her and him is gonna live together forever under Satan. Sell the cosmos. She gonna help him to get rid of us black men on the earth as he goes and fights God. You see what I'm saying? That's what they actually believe. She believes she's gonna be the cleaning maid on the spaceship Nine. Spaceship Nine. She gonna be the maid. She gonna be the bed wench. You know what I'm saying?
And deep
She's
down,
gonna be a dog in his kingdom. Go ahead.
so like I was gonna say, and deep down, that's all the heathen nations. So like to destroy the brotherhood that the UPK
Right.
is building.
They want to wipe us out.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
And the black woman's on board with that.
Right. Like, and I don't want to put the warrior on the spot, but like Monterey, prime example, with like that's burning in my cerebellum that what his grandfather said, like you will never be accepted. You get what I'm saying? Because you look like we do. Like what kind of like he doesn't want him to have this brotherhood.
No, and he doesn't understand. He doesn't understand, you know, because he's an American.
Right.
Americans are the dumbest people on the planet.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He doesn't understand because he's an American.
Right.
He doesn't understand seed. You see what I'm saying? He doesn't understand, the seed of a person, it determines what the hell he is.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like if you say, for instance, if you had a big ass box of green apples in Paris, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Are they the same or are they different? Are they the same fruit?
No.
They're the same color, right?
Yeah.
Would they make them the same fruit?
No.
No. One is an apple, right? A green apple is the same color as a green pear, but inside the green apple has the ability to produce what?
Green apples.
No, just apples, period.
Right.
Yeah, I mean green apples do that, but apple, I was going to apples, period. Because I think all apples like start out as green, right?
Right.
And then they turn red. Yeah, they start out green, then they turn red. You know what I'm saying? But what I was looking for is another apple, regardless of color.
Kind of
See what I'm saying?
So lucky. I messed up here knowing you, sir. Basically, if you got an apple seed and you plant it in an orange and you plant it in an orange tree field, it's not gonna fucking grow an orange tree. It's gonna grow an apple tree.
Yeah, that's what it's gonna grow. You could get Georgia is known for peaches.
Right.
If you plant the seeds of apples in Georgia, if apples can actually grow in Georgia, I don't know. Can they? Anybody know?
I don't see why not, sir.
But they're known for what? They're known for peaches,
Right.
stuff like that, right?
Right.
But if you plant apple seeds, will it make it a peach because it grows there in Georgia?
Wow, sir.
No. The woman's womb is actually what they call the Mother Earth, right?
Yeah.
Back in black women call it the Mother Earth.
Yeah.
So whatever seed goes in her is what comes out. You know what I'm saying? If a white man's seed goes in her, a white man or child's gonna come out.
And you can tell by the spirit.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Another thing too, let me hit y'all on something also too. When think about it. A lot of people tripping on all that. How do you feel? How would you feel? How do you feel like, say for instance, I'm gonna say hypothetically, like say for instance you had Samson, right?
Right.
Samson slew all these Philistines at a time when we were being oppressed by the Philistines, by another nation, right?
Right.
Now, if something similar like that happened today with one black man, deep down inside of the pit of your stomach, how would that make you feel?
You mean, so like you said it again?
If something like Samson, what happened with Samson, happened here, and this dude, deep down inside his gut, he went around, you know what I'm saying, and he was carrying out justice and everything, even though he figured, man, he's gonna get killed, he's gonna, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They gonna, but somewhere deep down in your gut, there's a smile.
Yeah, I'm right.
You know what I'm saying?
You're gonna damn near celebrate that brother. You know what I'm saying?
Damn near. That's how you know what you are. You see what I'm saying? Regardless of what the hell you look like.
Kind of.
Because that smile that you got comes from a sense of justice for your goddamn people.
Right.
It's deep inside your goddamn soul.
Kind of a kind.
You know what I'm saying?
You don't be with that person.
Crying out for justice. It's been crying. That's how you know what the hell you goddamn are. That's how you know what somebody is.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You can't mistake that. You know what I'm saying?
Kind of a kind.
That sense of justice right there is a sense of justice that comes all the way from the goddamn slave.
Damn right.
Crime.
Who's like Salaki, if I would, who like here's how you know you're a slave in this country. Like your people don't get avenged. Everything that goes on with these other nations, they get vengeance for it.
Right.
Every nation has we still fighting some shit that happened in 2011. You get what I'm saying? Like
Right.
they celebrate their people every year. You get what I'm saying? Like we have no type of justice in this goddamn.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So think about it. If you're deep inside you, that feeling of justice, you know what I'm saying, and you get happy about the shit, you know what I'm saying? That right there is a dead identity of who the hell you are. What people don't understand is, regardless of what your mom is or whatever, your spirit comes from your father.
Kind of a kind.
You know what I'm saying? And your spirit is actually a driving force of what actually drives you, your passions and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? That's why you hear that term all the time, the passion of the Christ. You see what I'm saying? That's your spirit right there. What's moving you, you know what I'm saying? You know, when you look at, like say for instance, when you look at certain instances of the prophets, and the prophets was zealous for Israel and everything. When Moses rose up, his spirit rose up, and he killed that Egyptian.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? He rose up and he killed that Egyptian right there. That same spirit comes from Levi. You know what I'm saying? Came from Abraham, his father, to Kohath, to Levi, to Jacob, to Isaac, to Abraham, all the way back to Noah, back to Adam. You know what I'm saying? You see that?
Kind of a kind.
That's what it was, a driving force that drove him. That's that spirit right there for justice for his people. You see what I'm saying? That's unmistakable right there. That's the, you know what I'm saying? You get that, that's how you know what the hell you goddamn are. You know what you are, and other people can see it too. Regardless of what the hell you look like. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
They can see that spirit of the goddamn slaves inside you and shit. You know what I'm saying? That spirit of, you know, spiritually to them, you look like goddamn, you can look like Brad Pitt on the fucking outside, but to them, they see that spirit of you, you look like goddamn, you know what I'm saying? Wesley Snipes, or, I mean, his, like his image, I think he was a cool or whatever. But,
Kunta Kinte.
yeah, that's kind of like African and shit.
Yeah.
Wouldn't want to use that.
The reason, Salaki, sir, if I would, like, Africans don't suffer that oppression. Like when I watched that movie, I thought he was a Hebrew. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, he actually really was.
Kind.
You see what I'm saying?
But people believe he's a fucking Hamite.
Yeah,
that's a goddamn Hebrew,
yeah,
sir.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's a goddamn.
He came over. What religion was he when he came over here?
He's an Israelite, wasn't he? No.
Religion. He was a Muslim.
Kind.
You see what I'm saying?
Kind.
You know, a Muslim, you know, because they were dominated by the goddamn Muslims, and the Muslims helped around the ones that were the, you know, a lot of us came from Muslims.
Kind.
A lot of blacks and Hispanics came to this side of the world enslaved as Muslims. You know what I'm saying? Even along with a lot of the Gadites too. You know what I'm saying?
Kind.
Came over here as Muslims.
6'11", sir.
Okay, 6'11". Okay, cool. Going just a little bit.
Kind.
Sorry, it's a little bit late. So. All right, we'll go about 4:02. All right. Yeah, what time to say here? We spent nice. So let's go to that scripture proving what I'm further proving what I'm saying. Give me that quick stuff. Talking about the kingdom, the southern, the time of Jeroboam.
Second
The comfort, right? Okay.
Chapter 11, verse 13.
Yeah, we're gonna go up from that though.
Up to 13.
Yeah, well, we're gonna start about 30, yeah, we're gonna start 11 and 13 slot. You said look at 17, 13,
13.
13 through 17. Yeah, that's it. Pay attention to this, y'all. Second Chronicles chapter 11 and verse 13. I want you to break this verse down. 13 down. And the priests and the Levites that were in all Israel resorted to him out of all their coasts. They were reborn. They was reborn. It was the king of Judah. Look, make mention of that.
Okay.
That they were in, make mention that they were in the northern kingdom.
Okay, of course. I don't know where to put that.
Yeah.
The Levites, the priests of the Israelites were forced out of northern Israel into southern Israel and joined to Rehoboam, which was the king of Judah.
Well, the Levites left their suburbs and their possession.
They left all their belongings to go into the tribe of Judah. You know, they left their houses behind. Everything that they knew, they had to leave behind to come into the southern kingdom.
Right. So now what you got going on is all Levi.
From the northern kingdom,
yes,
coming to
down.
the southern kingdom.
Yeah, because they didn't want to worship the golden calves that Jeroboam set up. Neither did a lot of the other people in the other tribes. They didn't want to do that. The ones that still wanted to come down to Jerusalem and sacrifice to the Lord could not go back because Jeroboam would have them killed. You see what I'm saying? So what did they have to do?
You had to leave everything, sir.
Yes, and go down into Judah, right? All the tribes. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, one tribe specifically that I'm going to think of, that I'm going to mention, is also the tribe of Gad. You see what I'm saying? Now, let's read over and even go into all of that. And came to Judah and Jerusalem. For Jeroboam and his sons had cast them off from executing the priest's office unto the Lord. So that means they got rid of all, I heard some people try to break this down and everything. They mention Levi, but they don't mention as you read on. You see what I'm saying? Because certain people out of those tribes followed behind the priest. Once they got rid of the priesthood, a lot of people from the other tribes like, shit, I want to still go down to Jerusalem and sacrifice to the Lord. And like, shit, I think we're just gonna follow the priest.
Right.
They're like, I don't want to stay up here. Fine, what they got here right here, they can have all of this. You see what I'm saying? Jeroboam and them can have all of this. Fine, no problem. I'm not gonna set up in this motherfucker and worship their goddamn cow. Them cows, I'm not gonna do it. You see what I'm saying? You had a line, that was a piece of every tribe said that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They like, to hell with that. We're not gonna do that. And those tribes today, right? And those tribes were known as, those are the black versions of these tribes.
Right.
Was that, go ahead?
So lucky. Like this just popped in my head, like that scripture right there, when he was just breaking it down, how they was worshiping the calves. Like that's where the goddamn Romans got it from, worshiping the meat gods and shit like that. Like they had a goddamn god for the meat and shit like that.
Yeah, they got that. That stuff goes all the way back to the Canaanite thing that I was talking about.
Which
those gods came from Babylon, from the Babylonians. You see what I'm saying? From the time of Nimrod and all of that. That's what the Horite gods were made out of. That's what inspired the Horite. The gods of the Horites.
So lucky. Nimrod tried to make himself a god, right?
Yeah.
And
people worshiped him as a god.
Right.
They looked at him as a god.
And that also stems into the religion of Christmas, right?
Yeah.
Just making sure.
Right.
That's all I want to know, sir.
Right. Okay. For Jeroboam and his sons had cast them off from executing the priest's office unto the Lord. And he ordained him priest for the high places. Go ahead.
Could you break that down for me, sir?
Okay. when it's talking about for Jeroboam and his sons, that
Yeah.
okay.
And
Jeroboam and his sons, because Jeroboam was what? He was the king of the northern tribes, right? And what do? You take your sons and you put your sons and you distribute them through the cities of where you have dominion at.
Right.
That's the king's custom right there, right? Your sons will become rulers, you know what I'm saying? Like say, you ruling from one place, your son over here in this city over here, he's ruling that. Your other son's ruling this city. Your other son, so on and so forth. They ruling all these on their own territory, you know what I'm saying? And they all reporting back to their father. You see what I'm saying? That's another reason why they want to destroy the seed, the seed of the black man, because they know that a child is naturally, because like I said, your spirit comes from your father. A child is naturally prone to be in subjection to his father. That's why they make sure they destroy the in-laws. They do everything they can to accept it, because a child is naturally subservient unto the father. Unless something else happens, somebody else is standing in the place to stop it. Cast them off from executing the priest's office unto the Lord. Cast them off, right?
From executing the priest's office.
Yes.
So basically doing their priestly duties.
Yes. Anything having to do with the priesthood. And they're priests, so they couldn't just stay up there and stop. You see what I'm saying? What they had in mind to do is set up their own pagan priesthood.
Right. So it basically be like how they, say put it in today's term, how they would stop us from doing the prayers and that kind of stuff, like try to shut all that shit down.
Kind of, but this is actually done with our own people.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
So this is Israelites doing it?
Yes, Israelites. Down into Judah, you know what I'm saying,
right,
to sacrifice it to the Lord, because he figured that if all the people go once a year, then their hearts is going to be sold to Jeroboam, and they're going to strengthen up Jeroboam.
Right. So in today's term, it would be like the Christian pastors trying to stop us now.
Yeah.
The T.D. Jakes of the world.
Yeah, it'd be kind of like that, because, it's like, man, because if everybody's celebrating, everybody going to New York for the Passover.
Right. And everybody start to follow these Hebrew Israelite customs.
Right. If everybody start to go to ISUBK's Passover in New York,
right,
we're going to lose power.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Kind of.
So what are they doing? They're launching an all-out assault, but they haven't got to the point to where they like getting people out of their churches and everything.
Right.
And they claim to be an Israelite. They ain't got there yet. They ain't thrusting them out. If Jeroboam would have been, they would have had them killed.
Kind
You see what I'm saying? And he took out, let's say he had his sons, his bastard sons, to carry out, they like, y'all gotta get the hell out this goddamn city. And what did they do? They set up their own priesthood, trying to be a totally different race.
So
get it?
You
understand?
Kind of, sir, would you break it down a little bit more?
Trying to be a total, okay, what are the Ephraimites been doing now? Do they claim to be black?
Nah, sir.
Right. They want to be something else, don't they?
Kind of, like their own little nation.
Right. Well, Jeroboam was kicking the Levite priests and everything out, totally separating himself from Judah.
Oh, right, to make his own nation.
Right.
That's
why he set up the golden calf and say, these are the gods that delivered you out of Egypt. That's why he did all of that.
Sir.
All right. We cast them off from executing the priest's office unto the Lord. And he ordained him priest for the high places, and for the devils, and for the calves which he made. Here it is. And after them, out of all the tribes of Israel. Wait a minute, what did it say?
After them, all the tribes of Israel.
Yes, it said after them, after who? After the priests were kicked out, right?
All the tribes of Israel.
Right, it said, and after them, out of all the tribes of Israel, such as set their hearts to seek the Lord God of Israel, came to Jerusalem.
So they was like, screw this, I'm out.
Yeah. They got the hell out of there.
Okay.
That's why when we were ran into Africa in 70 AD, they had Gadites in Africa.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right. Even to this day, so lucky, sir, if I would say.
Like
That's a heavy point that you make because, like, we used to see Gadites, like, this is way before I was in the truth, but, like, the Gadites knew who they were. They was rocking the fringes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They had the fringes on their arms, on their boots, on everything.
Right.
With the headpieces.
Right.
The feather headpieces and shit. Like, like, the spirit always was there to stay with them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But notice another thing, too. Because you got people that's running around thinking the Zulus were getting a lot of their, legs and stuff like that when they be doing the little dances and all that, the little bell bottom type of bristle thing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? What did we do when we was running to Africa? We took on all these African customs.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So when anybody run around trying to say, the Native Indians ain't Israelites and all of that, and they ain't suffered with us, they wasn't loaded on the slave ship. Bullshit. They were loaded on those slave ships.
Right.
A lot of the Gadites were in Africa.
Yeah, I'm right.
You got a piece, I'm gonna read that part. What do we do when we amongst another people?
We do what they do.
We start taking on their customs.
Okay.
Now you see why every time you see a picture of a goddamn Gadite, he ain't got no shirt.
Right. Salakia, if I would. Like it's an old saying, when in Rome, do what the Romans do.
Right. So where were they at? They were in Africa doing what the goddamn Africans.
Damn right, kind of kind.
That's why they have the little thing, because the Zulus have that same type of stuff.
Right.
They run around, they have feathers in their heads. You know what I'm saying? They got the goddamn, one of them had to get it from the other.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
One had to get it from the other.
So they just mingle cultures and start stealing from each other.
Right.
So taking on each other.
I mean, actually, that come from, you know what I'm saying, from them. But I mean, the war paint that they Native Indians wear,
they got it from the Hamites.
Yes. Because the law say,
damn right.
You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
That's what the law say. The law say was not to print any marks upon yourself. You put war paint on, you print marks.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And we were told not to do that, so where they get it from?
Hamites, sir.
Right. Dream casters. Y'all know what those are, right? I know you know what those are.
Come.
Is that Israelite customs?
Nah, sir.
What is that?
That's Hamite customs.
Right. You see what I'm saying?
You talk about the things that you're supposed to hang over your bed before you sleep.
Yeah, the thing, the little circle thing, with the little net, the little,
Right.
That's Hamite.
With the feathers on it.
Right, that's Hamite. You see what I'm saying? The Zulus rock the feathers too.
Okay.
And they've been rocking them for thousands of years. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
Our people got things like that from them. But the feathers is nothing unlawful about the feathers at all.
Yes,
because I understand why there is a spiritual reason why the Gadites wear the feathers.
Okay.
That is a spiritual reason of why, because the thing of it is too, one of the things is Gad, you have to look at who Gad was, and the tribe of Gad, what their responsibility was. They were like the front line. Gad would roll where all the tribes is rolling, Gad and Reuben, you know what I'm saying? That's why they both wear the feathers.
Right.
Gad and Reuben would actually be like the scouts.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? They were like scouting tribes, you know what I'm saying? And they would see, you know what I'm saying, far off into the mountains and stuff like that to see if there was any invading enemies. Come. You see what I'm saying? They were a tribe that were gifted like that. That's why Gad's first son's name was Zipion, which means sight. You see what I'm saying? That's one of the reasons. That's why they have the eagle's feathers. The eagles are known for what?
For their eyesight, sir.
Right.
Seeing prey 5 football fields away.
Right. You know, just
and
like
knowing exactly what it is.
Right. That's why, and then you put that in today's terms, on the left hand side, well, it's under the curse, and then they do the little what do they do? They do the little drug, drink the little soup or whatever, and then start seeing things.
Right, having visions,
right.
Visions.
Because of course the tribe of Gad were also prophets, like the 2 seers and stuff too. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But nowadays they take a little soup, a little drug or whatever, and then they seem like they're seeing into the future or whatever the case is.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right. And would that be a custom that they picked up from somebody else, sir?
Yes. You know what I'm
saying? Like in that movie, The Goddamn Black Panther?
But what it is, this is what people don't understand. You're gifted through the seed of being a prophet.
Kind.
You see what I'm saying? And then inside though, you have some that are more,
Gifted.
yeah, in that area that are different kind of prophets and more gifted in that area. That's just why it just mentioned in the Bible, you hear the term sons, the sons of the prophets. You see what I'm saying? Those sons of the prophets are actually, you know what I'm saying, they come from the seed of the prophets because you inherit that. If your father was a strong prophet, you inherited that. You see what I'm saying? Regardless of what you did with it.
Damn right, you still got to
you still got to kill it. You see what I'm saying? Well, the Gadites was also prophets too, but you put that prophecy stuff on the left-hand side, now they're drinking, doing the peyote and all of that stuff, and seeing in the future, and you know what I'm saying, knowing some type of, wise shaman, but in some weird wicked shit, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Which goes to further show that the Israelites, because that's a curse right there. That falls up under the curse.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Being influenced by the drugs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That sounds like a nigga. That sounds like some nigga shit to me.
Right. Remember the scripture when it said a wicked man diggeth up evil and his lips is a burning fire?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
what were they known for doing?
Passing around the peace pipe.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you even look at the damn, the dances and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? The foot dances and stuff that we be doing. That's the type of dancing when the Lord just kicked somebody's ass for us.
Right.
We used to all do that. All the tribes did
They was crip walking back then,
right.
sir.
That's why Mexicans are so good with crip walking. You know what I'm saying? That's why blacks and Mexicans is real good with crip walking, feet walking, and Gadites is good with that shit. You know what I'm saying? That's why we're all good with the little feet dances like that. And that's another reason why we're so goddamn good at things like boxing and our footwork is so well, because that custom that's been given and brought down to us throughout the generations. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, that's the reason why. You see what I'm saying? But the Gadites were among the Zulus. That's why they take on those customs of war paint, you know what I'm saying, naked shirt, the damn things with the bell bottom stained bristles and all of that.
Right.
That's where they got that from. So any dumb fool running around saying that they ain't Israelites, they ain't going to slavery with us, they ran down to Africa with us. This scripture cuts that shit because of a piece of every tribe that went down there with us. 2 million goddamn, you know what 2 million black Mexicans were taken to Mexico? 2 million people from Africa was taken to Mexico to work in the goddamn mines doing the slave trade.
Right.
And a lot of those lighter-skinned Mexicans that you see nowadays are descendants of those.
Right.
Not counting the Mexicans that was already there. The Lord put them in slavery with their brothers because, it said that Judah and Israel be oppressed together, didn't it?
Right.
They all went under the umbrella of Judah, everyone that was ran down into Africa, even though there was of whatever tribe. That's why it says here they strengthened Judah. They strengthened Rehoboam and Judah.
Right.
They became Judah themselves. You see what I'm saying? Go ahead.
So like if I would, and that's why blood ties is so goddamn important, because people, you know what I'm saying, when they think of an Indian, you know what I'm saying, they think of Madara's complexion, not knowing that the original looked like Madara's father. You know what I'm saying? Dark-skinned brother that damn near looked like a Judite.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you do have some nowadays. I mean, like the Pocahontas looking ones, the Asian looking ones. You know what I'm saying? They're still too, and they pretty much kind of think of that, but then they range from that to white. You see what I'm saying?
So lucky. I didn't mean like they don't like. We all know we come in all shapes and colors and sizes. You know what I'm saying? Like our colors is crazy because.
That's not really crazy.
No, I don't mean like that. Yeah. I mean like 2 dark-skinned people can give birth to a light-skinned child.
But that's not really that likely like that.
Yeah. I understand what you're saying.
Something. No, we looking like that because of us whoring with other races.
Okay.
That's why we're looking the way that we got them look now. You know what I'm saying?
I was saying that to say this, like it's a book. I forget the name of the book, but it actually shows the tribe of Gad in there. It shows all the tribes in there. And when you look at them brothers, like you really can't tell the difference between a goddamn Gadite and myself. If you look at the most pictures, like them Gadites look just like how the hell I look now.
Let me ask you a question. Like Madara was a Gadite, right?
Right.
And he get with a woman that's of his complexion. Are they gonna have children that look like me?
Me personally, I think so, sir.
That's no, Warren. No. It's not likely this is gonna happen.
Like,
You know what I'm saying?
So
They would end up in a divorce, let me tell you that. They would end up in a goddamn divorce.
like I say
You see what I'm
that,
saying?
I say that to say this, sir, because like me personally, I'm like one of the darkest motherfuckers in my family. Like everybody in my family is light skinned. Like when you look at me and my sister, we don't look like brothers and sisters. Cause she's all extra, like Martara and his sister. Like you said, he's the light complexion, she's the dark complexion, but they both got the same
Y'all
mother,
not
same
still not
father.
straying too far from one another.
Right.
Me, my appearance and Matara's appearance is too far opposites.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? That shit don't happen like that.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Matara get with a woman that, you know, another Gadite woman that, you know, red hair like him or, you know, is light as him, they're not gonna have one of me. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And if they do have one of me, I think they need to talk. You see what I'm saying? You, on the other hand, you have lighter skinned people. Your father was probably dark. You see what I'm saying? We don't just have any goddamn thing. We're not no different than any other race when it comes to it like that. We're just so used to raising kids that ain't ours, so we think, you know, that this is, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's what we do, man. We raise kids that ain't even ours and shit. You know what I'm
So
saying?
lucky, sir. I'm not explaining it right. You get what I'm saying? I'm not explaining. I don't mean it like that. Like,
No.
Like two niggas ain't about to get together and have a white baby with blonde hair and blue eyes. You get what I'm saying? Like that's just not about to happen.
Well, that's the reason why the Lord spoke to Rebecca and
He
told
told her
what
that
was
she will
going
have
on.
two nations will be in our
They were
womb.
twins.
Right. But
You
she
see what I'm saying?
Right.
There was no other white people on the face of the planet at that time.
Khan. That's why they give this description.
Right,
He was
right.
red and hairy all over.
Right. Isaac knew, there wasn't no shadow of a doubt. Isaac knew that was his son. You know what I'm saying? He already knew. He knew that was his son. There was no white people around for the screw or any of that. Or you know, where the child would come out red and hairy. You know, he thought something was wrong.
Yeah, the baby was sickly or something.
Yeah, he thought something was wrong because notice something. Remember when you go, because you had people that had children that were born as albinos.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? You had people that had children that were albinos, stuff like that, you know. They still know that that's their child, and they're like, this child is just an albino. But remember when the Lord hit Miriam with leprosy, and what did Aaron say? He said, Lord, don't let her be as one half dead coming out as he come from the womb.
So, like you said it again, sir?
He said, Lord, don't let her be. He said, look it up for me so I can quote it right, so I'm not paraphrasing. And when she was hit with the leprosy, we're going to go to that.
When who was hit with the leprosy, sir?
The Miriam, Moses' sister. White man's the devil that the Bible speaks of. Time warrior. White man is the devil that the Bible speaks. That's what we do here at the fall. White man is out there the devil. Get everybody snapped back.
White man is the devil that the Bible speaks of.
That's right.
Let's class, right?
Karuka.
Make sure you do all the words at the end.
Karuka. Okay, while you looking for that, I'm gonna pick back up at 2 Chronicles chapter 11, verse 16. And after them, out of all the tribes of Israel, I want you to break that down. all the tribes of Israel.
What was the first one?
The verse was, okay, 15. And he ordained him priest, verse 15, and he ordained him priest of the high places. Set up a priesthood of Levi.
And the king of Jeroboam, Jeroboam, the king of the northern kingdom, set him up priest of the tribe of Levi. That's like I lost my train of thought.
Yeah, he set up priest of one of the tribe of Levi.
You know, he had them make their own things that were holy. You know, worshiping the golden calf, as we stated before, making their own high holy days and basically setting their own rules for their own kingdom. You know, like what they can eat. Like basically, they can eat pork if they wanted to, shrimp, crab, and basically anything unlawful. Sleep with anyone they wanted. Do drugs if they felt like it.
Right. Says, and he ordained him priest for the high places and for the devils, and for the calves which he had made. And after them, out of all the tribes of Israel, such as set their hearts to seek the Lord God of Israel, came to Jerusalem to sacrifice unto the Lord God of their fathers. So they strengthened, the kingdom of Judah. Go ahead, Ward.
Those that wanted to follow the laws, statutes, and commandments and keep following the Most High decided to leave the northern kingdom and came to the southern, where King Rehoboam was, which was the ruler over the tribe of Judah. You know, because they stuck to the laws, statutes, and commandments. They didn't want to do worldly things as Jeroboam was doing, and as we do today.
And made Rehoboam the son of Solomon strong, because they left, they forfeited everything, and they came in, you know what I'm saying, and they became mixed with Judah and Jerusalem. You see what I'm saying? They became, they all blended right in with us, became the southern kingdom, just like hell, like during the time of the slave revolts, the same damn thing happened, because you had escaped slaves, that linked up, with the Gadites and everything, and we merged together. They took the men of Judah and then put the eagle feather crowns up on our heads and was making us kings.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And we went to war in a lot of places. We went to war with the Edomites and ran them the hell out of them goddamn cities. We destroyed them to the goddamn ground to where they couldn't touch some of these cities for like 40 years. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just like what Gaspar Yanga did in Mexico. You know what I'm saying? Gaspar Yanga is a straight up nigga. He's one of the descendants of the ones that, he's one of the dudes that was actually taken on the goddamn slave ships and brought to Mexico. Now, what tribe do you think that was? Anybody? No. Yeah. What did you look like, though?
Judah?
Yeah. What was he?
Mexican.
He was a Mexican. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of them look at Gaspar Yanga as a great hero in Mexico. You see what I'm saying? You can look up the documentary, Even the ones that look like, even the ones that look like, damn near like Asians, still big up Gaspar Yanga. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They look at Gaspar Yanga, damn near like we look at, like Nat Turner or something. You know what I'm saying? And he was not of the tribe of Judah, he was of the tribe of Issachar. You know what I'm saying? And he slew many devils down in Mexico. And led a revolution down in Mexico to where the white people could not inhabit that city. We had 40 years of peace in that city. 40 years before the white man was even brave enough to even come up and try and take over that place again, which 40-year period is always the time that's also mentioned in the Bible. It's always the time that's mentioned in the Bible when you go back to Judges and it said that the children of Israel had peace 40 years. It always says that. What was the time frame of peace under Gaspar Yanga down in Mexico? 40 years.
40 years coming come.
You see what I'm saying? The hell with anybody that goddamn say that the Mexicans and all of them ain't Israelites.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? Those are people that are full of goddamn hatred while they sitting there telling you that we full of hatred because we exposing them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, they telling us we full of goddamn hatred. They're the ones that's full of hatred because they get so consumed with goddamn hate that they can't even investigate things to find out what the hell if we saying is true or not.
Yeah.
They're so riddled with hate, they can't even do that. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All right, let's go some more. For 3 years, they walked in the ways of David and Solomon. And Rehoboam took him, okay, that's going into, Rehoboam taking, the wives, and he operated wisely, such and such. But as I was saying, this is the reason there was a piece of every tribe that went down into Africa with us. Now, let's say hypothetically, right? Let's say there was only one man of the tribe of Gad that left Jerusalem. That left the northern kingdom and went down into the southern kingdom. 200 years later, what would that one man turn into?
So, like you said it again, almost like.
Say, for instance, hypothetically, there was one man of the tribe of Gad or of any of the northern tribes. They came down into Jerusalem during this time that we're talking about right here, right?
Right.
Got him a few wives. What would 200 years down the line, that man would be what?
Judah?
No, he wouldn't be Judah.
No, he
would populate. That's what my point. It's like, I didn't clear that up. He will populate. He had 5 wives. You can have as many wives as you can, right? And hell, if it was one dude, one Gadite down there, yeah, and he was especially if he was a righteous man. Oh, he had to be a righteous man if he left all of that.
Right.
His brothers from all the goddamn tribes have been throwing their daughters here. Take her to wife. Take her to wife. He'd run up with 10 wives, right?
Yeah.
So now, say he had 30 children with these 10 wives. You know what I'm saying? 200 years from that.
He'd be a nation.
Right. So now, that's how so many Gadites and everything, there was thousands of Gadites that was loaded on those slave ships. Thousands of Issacharites that was loaded on the slave ship. Matter of fact, Issachar had about 2 million. It was about 2 million. There was more Issacharites. It was more Issacharites taken from Africa and brought to Mexico. There was slaves brought to the United States of America about 4 times as many. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There was under 500,000 of us taken here, of us Judah, tribe of Judah, taken to the United States of America. Under 500,000. You see what I'm saying? But we populate very fast, just like we did in Egypt, and that's what always grieved our enemies. That's why they always trying to find out ways to destroy our kids. They killing them a half, you know what I'm saying? Because we have kids, we pop them out. You know what I'm saying? We pop them out and we pop them out. You know what I'm saying?
That's why they got abortion clinics
Right.
in every black community that you think of.
Right. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly why.
Okay. That's lucky, sir. Numbers 12 and 10 is what I think you wanted.
Numbers 12, 15. Yeah, go ahead, give it to me.
Numbers 12 and 10. And the cloud departed from off of the tabernacle, and behold, Miriam became leprous, white as snow. And Aaron looked upon Miriam, and behold, she was leprous.
Right. Okay, keep going.
Come. Verse 11. And Aaron said unto Moses, Alas, my Lord, I beseech thee, lay not the sin upon us, wherein we have done foolishly, and wherein we have sinned. Verse 12. Let her not be as one dead.
Wait a minute, as one what?
As one dead.
As one what?
as one dead.
What is Esau known for being?
Wither
Esau
away.
like the minister of death.
Kind of
By the sword,
kind.
by the sword, finish it.
He the killer.
By the sword, his blessing.
Kind.
By the sword shall what? By the sword shall thou live.
Kind of, sir.
You see what I'm
Sir,
saying?
damn it, I should have knew that, sir. Salaki. That's on me.
Means he will be, you know what I'm saying?
Dead, sir.
He will be like the minister of death. But he said, let her be not as one born dead, right?
Kind.
Because Esau was never like one born dead, because he will bring death into the world at a very high scale. Give me a precept. Let's go to First Maccabees. First Maccabees, chapter 9, right? The rule of Alexander. First Maccabees, First Maccabees, chapter 1, and verse 9.
Okay. First Maccabees, 1 and 9, sir?
Right.
First Maccabees, 1 and verse 9. And after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves. So did their sons after them many years, and the evils were multiplied in the earth.
Evils were multiplied in the earth. Evils have to do with what? Sins, and sin is what is sin?
The way to death, sir.
Right. So when Aaron said, let her not be born
as the dead,
as one dead.
Let her not be born as basically a devil, as a white man.
Right. Now you go back to Genesis, and the first came out
red and hairy all over.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Came out with very little pigment in his skin.
Come.
And he will produce a nation that will be the same way. See what I'm saying? They will carry on the same characteristics, and they will be the ministers of death on the earth. See what I'm saying? All right, now let's go to let me get a time check.
I believe it's 6:40, sir.
Okay. Now what we're gonna do is we'll have the announcements read.
Will we read the announcement, sir?
God.
I got it, sir. Yeah, I got it. Sit down, where?
Yeah, I want you to give me.
We are the ISUPK. We are the ISUPK. Started 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rules for new brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves in the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which a brother and sister will court each other. After that 6 month period, a brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is the commandments, Numbers 18 and 21, Malachi 3 through 8, means tenth in Hebrew, Ma'ashra. 10% of every penny the increase the Lord gives you, give to the Treasury Department. Priest fund, free will offering, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you may like. Upcoming holy complications.
Okay, we got Cincinnati, coming up September 14th. We also have the Cincinnati that's breaking ground. And I think September 14th, and we also have December the 29th. There will be, Share Your Man lecture in
St.
St.
Louis.
Louis. Right.
Okay. So we got the, for those who didn't hear Officer Tarak 5000, we have the Cincinnati Breaking Ground, which will be September.
The groundbreaking will actually be the 14th, yes.
The 14th. We have Camp 14. We have a lecture the 15th. And we also got a mini barbecue. Blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians only. You know how the RSVP get down. And after that, we have the Share Your Man lecture in St. Louis. The dates are?
That'll be September the 29th.
September the 29th in St. Louis, the Share Your Man lecture. Ran by Officer 5000 Gunga Bar.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So make sure you're there for that, man. You understand? You know how to be a side chick. Learn how to be a second wife.
Right. And with that being said, a marching, rise, blood up and down, rise to face the east.
Abanawa.
Shabbat
Shabbat Shemayim.
Dash.
Wadash.
Hayah.
Hayah.
Shamka.
Shamka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Malawaka.
Malawaka.
Taba'ah.
Taba'ah.
Manzaka.
Watazaraka.
Hayah.
Hayah.
Ashah.
Ashah.
Baharatazah.
Baharatazah.
Hawa.
Hawa.
Hayah.
Hayah.
Bashimayim.
Bashemayim.
The thunder now.
The thunder now.
Come.
Akam.
Call.
Call.
Yawam.
Yawam.
Masalak now.
Wazalaka now.
Kawaki now.
Kawaki now.
Masalak now.
Kawaki now.
Kawaki now.
Kawaki now.
Ah.
Wa'ah.
Gabayai now.
Gabayai now.
Binasai one.
Banzai one.
Abal.
Abal.
Awashai now.
Awashai now.
Ayan.
Ayan.
Right.
Right.
Ayah.
Ayah.
Akah.
Akam.
Amalakwa.
Amalakwa.
Wa'al.
Wa'al.
Wa'atapar.
Wa'atapar.
Rawalayim.
Rawalayim.
Aman.
Aman.
Our Father.
Our Father.
Which art in heaven.
Which art in heaven.
Hallowed be thy name.
Hallowed be thy name. Yahweh.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy kingdom
Thy
come.
will be done.
Thy will be done.
In earth.
In earth.
As it is in heaven.
As it is in heaven.
Give us this day.
Give us this day
Our daily bread.
our daily bread.
And forgive us of our debts.
And forgive us of our debts.
As we forgive our debtors.
As we forgive our
And
debtors.
lead us not into
And
temptation.
lead us not into temptation.
But deliver us from evil.
But deliver us from evil.
For thine is the kingdom.
For thine is the kingdom.
And the power.
And the power.
And the glory.
And the glory.
Forever.
Forever.
So be it.
So be it.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Ba'ashim Yahushua.
Ba'ashim Yahushua.
Barakashah.
Babakashah.
Thunder now.
Thunder now.
Akah.
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 Rafa'ah.
Labrah.
Kalmaka'ala.
Kal Makala.
Wakal
Makal Marwa.
Akah.
Akah.
Latahar.
Latahar.
Kamatazariah.
Kal Mazaraya.
Akah.
Akah.
Lahaki.
Lahaki.
Amaki.
Amaki.
Akah.
Akah.
Arakawah.
Al-Rakawah.
Ataba'ala.
Atahala.
Garshan.
Garshan.
Ba'ashim Yahushua.
Ba'ashim Yahushua.
Warama.
Tuwad Arman.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
The name Yahushua.
In the name of Yahushua.
Please give us the power.
Please give us the power.
Power to heal.
The power to heal.
All manner of sick.
All manner of
And
sickness.
all manner of disease.
And all manner of disease.
Power to cleanse us up.
The power is the left.
Power to raise the dead.
Power to raise the dead.
Power against unclean
The
spirits.
power against unclean
Cast
spirits.
them out.
To cast them
In the
out.
name of
In
Yahushua.
the name of Yahushua.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Wa Yahushua.
Wa Yahushua.
Barakatah
Tamakala.
Wala Hayim.
Walahayim.
Barakatah.
Tabafah.
Halawat Yahweh.
Alawakian.
Halawakim.
Alawakim.
Hasarayim.
Azariah.
Hakadayayim.
Hakadiyayim.
Hakadayayim.
Hakadiyayim.
Wakwaki.
Walakwakim.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Ba'ashim Yahushua.
Ba'ashim Yahushua.
Waraman.
Tuwad Arman.
Bless you, Yahweh.
Bless you, Yahweh.
And Yahushua.
And Yahushua.
And Mike.
And
And
Michael.
the angel.
And the angel.
Manager, Yahweh.
Commander General. General.
Captain.
Captain.
The officer.
Officer.
Troopers.
Troopers.
And the sisters.
And the sister.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
And Yahushua.
In the name of Yahushua.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it.
The Barakah.
The Baraka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Where's Barakah?
Yashimaka.
Yahweh.
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 Ayaka.
Mayaka.
Ayakanka.
Wayakanka.
Yasha'ah.
Yasha.
Yahweh.
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 Ayaka.
Ayaka.
Where's Sham?
Wayasha.
Ka.
Ka.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Hashem Yahushua.
Ba'ashim Yahushua.
Barak.
Barak.
Rapat.
Rapah.
Magan.
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 Hagan.
The Puckett family,
the Puckett
the
family,
Hall family,
the Hall
the
family,
Owens family,
the Boaz family,
and all the children of Israel.
and all the children of Israel,
Done.
the Johnson family,
Johnson family,
the Hughes family,
Hughes
the
family,
Finney family,
Finney family,
the Gatewood family,
Gatewood family,
the Miller family,
Miller family,
the Russell family,
Russell family,
and all the children of
and all the
Israel.
children of Israel.
Done.
The McClatchy
The
family,
McClatchy
family.
the
family,
Nix
the
family,
Nix family,
the Young family,
the
Young
Young
family.
family,
Gannon
the
family,
Yeah.
Gann family,
and all the children of
and
Israel.
all the children of Israel.
Done.
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
bless thee and keep thee.
bless thee and keep thee.
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
make his face shine upon thee.
make his face shine upon
And be
thee,
gracious unto thee.
and be gracious unto thee.
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
lift up his countenance upon thee.
lift up his countenance upon
And
thee,
give thee peace.
and give thee peace.
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
and then thou shalt
and the name of Yahushua,
bless,
bless,
heal,
heal,
shield,
shield,
protect
protect,
the names of the lovers we just named.
in the name of the Lord we just named.
Bless you, Yahweh,
Bless you, Yahweh,
King of heaven and earth,
King of heaven and
and
earth,
all things living.
and all things living. Yahweh,
And then thou
in the
shalt
name of Yahushua,
bless us now,
let's do us now,
right now.
right now.
Evils and curses,
To evils and
and
curses,
punishment, destruction,
punishment, destruction,
and death
and death,
unto the heathen
unto the
that
heathen,
speak against us,
speak against
thy
us,
prophets,
and not prophets,
teachers,
the teachers,
princes,
princes,
priests,
priests,
Israelite brothers,
Israelite brothers,
and school,
and school,
and evils and curses,
and evils and curses,
and punishment, destruction,
and punishment, destruction,
and death
and death,
to the heathen,
to the heathen,
to shake loose the pocket
and shake loose the pockets
of the rich of Israel,
of the rich of
that
Israel,
refuse to give to the school,
that refuse to get to the school,
force their rich,
force their riches,
to enter thy sanctuary,
enter their sanctuary,
and evils and curses,
and evils and curses,
and punishment, destruction,
and punishment, destruction,
and death to the Edomites,
and death to the
and the
Edomites,
nation,
and the
and
nation,
their drug dealers,
and the drug dealers,
court system,
court system,
prison system,
prison system,
land parenthood,
land
and
parenthood,
all the governments of our enemies,
all the governments of our enemies,
and like synagogues and armies,
and the synagogues and armies,
Roman Catholic Church,
Roman Catholic Church,
Pope,
Pope,
Islam,
Islam,
Christianity,
Christianity,
intelligence,
intelligence,
militia,
militia,
Ku Klux Klan,
Ku Klux Klan,
Aryan Nation,
Aryan Nation,
skinheads,
skinheads,
Nazi Komatata,
Kamikaze,
the gay movement,
gay
the
movement,
lesbian movement,
lesbian movement,
spies,
spies,
workers of witchcraft,
workers of witchcraft,
NASA space program,
NASA space program,
Army,
Army,
Navy,
Navy,
Air Force,
Air Force,
Marines,
Marines,
Wall Street,
Wall Street,
open up the internet,
open up the
and the
internet,
airwaves,
and the
cable
airwaves,
access channels,
cable access
and the
channels,
radio channels,
and the radio
to
channels,
the spirit
release the spirit
of any of thy people
of any other people
that seek to stop us,
that seek to stop
and
us
bring swift death
and bring swift death
to all the heathen
to all the
that
heathen
stand in the way,
that stand in the
try
way,
to stop
or
us,
trying to stop us
broadcasting your word,
from broadcasting your
throughout
word
the planet Earth,
throughout the planet
let
Earth.
us all the terror,
Let loose all the terror,
cause them to go
cause us to go
to and fro
to and fro
through the earth
through the earth
and destroy,
and destroy,
cause the terrorists
cause the terror
come against America
to come against America
and destroy them
and destroy
in their
them
stronghold.
and their stronghold.
Let America shake.
Let America shake
Let the terror.
at the hands of the terror.
Let your house shine.
Let your house shine.
Michael
Mike
and Gabriel
and Gabriel
come down with flying saucers.
come down to fly
And
us
kill
out
all the heathen.
and kill all the
They
heathen.
go against us.
They come up against us
As we speak thy word,
as we speak that word.
cause it to be known
Cause it be known
by all
by all.
that is the angels that have done
It's
it.
the angels that have done it.
Cause it to be spread
Cause it be
through the
spread
media
to the media
throughout the whole world.
throughout the whole world.
Cause it to shake at thy coming.
Cause it's a shake at that
In the
coming.
name of
And
Yahushua,
the name of Yahushua.
thank you always.
Thank you always.
So be it.
So be it.
Sir. Marching butt. Marching. Barak.
Yahweh Shem Shabrakatah.
Yahweh. Courtesy salute to the sisters. Marching Shabbat. Marching. Barak.
Yahweh Shabbat.
Yahweh. Dismiss.
That's right. You the warrior.